Just imagine if inside you, at every moment, there was an infinite source of energy, an energy so powerful that you could master any skill, become extraordinary in any field, and remember everything you ever studied. And rise is one of the greatest human in your time. No mental fog, no weaknesses, and no distraction. There exists only power, clarity, and radiance. Now let me ask you something. What would you give for that energy? More valuable than money, more valuable than fame, more valuable than comfort. What if I told you the sages of ancient India believed this energy could be cultivated through one simple but extremely difficult discipline, Brahmacharya? In the yogic tradition, this conserved energy was called Ojas. The great yogi, Swami Sivananda, wrote extensively about this book, The Practice of Brahmacharya. But there is something important. Brahmacharya does not simply mean avoiding sex. He explained, in a narrow sea, Brahmacharya is celibacy. In a broad sense, it is control of all the senses. This means not just celibacy in action, but celibacy in thought, in speech, and in imagination. Because suppression alone is dangerous, and transformation is the key. In yogic science, semen was called retas, a vital fluid. Through discipline and spiritual practices, retas could be transferred into ojas. And what is ojas? Ojas is said to be manifested as inner radiance, sharp intelligence, powerful memory, magnetic personality, and immense willpower. It was also believed that saints who practiced perfect brahmacharya developed glowing faces and powerful presence because they conserved this subtle energy. Even Patanjali, in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, wrote, when one is established in brahmacharya, spiritual vigor is attained. Spiritual vigor, not weakness, not repression, just power. Another mystic, Ramakrishna, taught something fascinating. He said, if a man practices unbroken brahmacharya for 12 years, he develops a nerve of memory, a power to remember everything, to understand everything. His disciple, Swami Vivekananda, became famous for his extraordinary memory. There is a story. One day, a disciple doubted whether anyone could read all the volumes of the encyclopedia. Vivekananda calmly said, ask me anything. And he reportedly answered, even quoting passages. When asked how, he replied, it is due to my strict brahmacharya. Whether symbolic or literal, the teaching is clear. Energy conserved becomes intelligence intensified. Now, it's the most important part. The yogis warned if you simply suppress desire without purifying the mind, it can cause psychological harm. The correct method is sublimation. Sexual energy must be redirected into creativity, study, meditation, service, and physical discipline. It must rise upward, not to be forced downward. Yogic practices like headstand and pranayam were designed to help direct energy upward through the spine, through the subtle channel called sushumna. Even Western thinkers spoke about it. Here is something shocking. The radical German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche wrote in his private notes that abstinence increased the feeling of power, but there was a difference. He rejected celibacy as weakness. He admired celibacy as self overcoming, power through discipline, self mastery, and transformation. And the bigger meaning of brahmacharya literally means walking in the path of Brahman, the absolute. It is not anti life, it is not anti love, it is about self control, inner refinement, channeling desire into higher purpose. The yogi who mastered this is called Urdhvaritas, one whose energy flows upward. So now I ask you, what do you think? Is semen retention a myth, a psychological effect, a spiritual science, or a discipline misunderstood in the modern world? And remember, the greatest power you seek outside may already be waiting within you. Om Vairavaya Namah.